actually worked at Custom Cakes during the time that I was going to school at SCAD. So I started at Custom Cakes during my sophomore year. I was just doing really menial tasks, just putting cakes together and just doing really simple things around the shop. And once they figured out that I had kind of a sculpting background as well, they kind of let me start playing with the actual cakes and stuff. So the first cake that I made was a tank that we made for a groom's cake for a soldier. That our designer that usually would have worked on that was gone that day, and they said, just get this cake ready and we'll do the rest. And I didn't know how much they wanted me to do, so I actually just kind of went to town and finished the tank, and my boss came back in the room and she was like, oh my god, I didn't expect you to finish it. So that's when they started letting me do a lot of the fun stuff. So animation, it seems like there's really not a lot of correlation, but honestly there really, really is. The biggest thing that animation has done to help me with cake decorating is to be able to think in a three-dimensional sense. That's one of the things that's really important in animation, is being able to see your figure in all sides in your head. And that's one of the things that really, really helps me out with cake decorating. The process really varies on what kind of cake we're doing. But generally how it works is, the client will come in and say, here's what I'm doing, here are my colors, it's a birthday cake, it's wedding cake, whatever. We'll sit down with them and see what they're thinking, and then we'll create a sketch for them. We send the sketch to them. Once they approve it, then we'll actually start work on our cake. And basically how that works is we just start with either rectangles of cake or round cakes. We stack them all up, and then we carve it the same way you would carve anything else. So no shaped pans involved, everything is just blocks of cake, and we go from there. So the most bizarre cake I think I've ever done was a birthday cake for a young woman who had a tattoo on her inner arm, and her family wanted a cake of her arm, so they actually wanted it to look like a severed arm, and we made it red velvet cake, so it looked red. It had like a bone sticking out and blood and everything, and then her tattoo that we painted on the inner arm, so it was a pretty bizarre cake. We've had some similar things to that. The 3D cakes in general, like a lot of times people will see like one of the 3D sculpted cakes at a wedding, and they'll come in and they'll say, oh, I was at so-and-so's wedding, can you make me this in a similar style? We also have a gator display cake out front that people ask for pretty often. They see the gator out there and they want it. The cake thing is definitely my career at this point, although I still kind of have a passion for animation. I'm submitting my films to festivals, and I'll let them run the circuit until they're done. And at that point, it might be nice to collaborate with some of my old animation friends and do some work on the side, but the cake thing is the career at this point. So I actually filmed 4 challenges at this point. 2 of them I was the competitor for, and then 2 of them I was the assistant for Carrie O'Connor, my coworker. So 4 so far.